Gravity Falls isn't just a cartoon. It's a complex puzzle you have to solve along the way. From cryptic codes to pop culture Easter eggs, this show is packed with hidden messages waiting to be unraveled. In this video, we're decoding everything within Gravity Falls, all the seasons, shorts, and books, breaking down every clue and reference this universe has to offer. For example, we found evidence that Old Man McGucket might actually be Steve Jobs in disguise. Sounds baloney? Watch until the end to see the shocking proof unfold. And if you're searching for anything specific, I've provided timestamps in the description below to guide you through the whole video. But to get the best experience, we've crafted this video with a storyline designed to be watched from start to finish. Trust us, it's worth it. Let us start our journey with a deep dive into Gravity Falls' main title theme, which may look like a simple theme song, but is actually a world of its own. In the main title theme, we can see one of the main characters of the verse, Dipper, exploring a cave. And if you think that this show is weird, do reconsider, because after seeing ancient runic characters, you'll say that this show is very weird. Yes, that's right. We can see runic characters on the walls of the cave. However, these characters apparently don't mean anything. Only the creators of the show know what they're doing there. Similarly, when the famous water tower is shown, yes, the one with Gravity Falls is painted over it, we can see a mountain range in the back. Can you make anything out of it? No? Well, that is the Twin Peaks mountain from the famous horror mystery TV show, Twin Peaks. Yet another reference from one great show to another great show. Another reference in Gravity Falls' main title theme is to one of its own episodes, Not What He Seems. In the theme song, Mabel and Dipper walk past a taxidermy jackalope, which again appears in the episode as well. Also, we can see a similar scene in the episode as well, where Mabel and Dipper are floating in the air. A magic 8-ball can be seen in both the theme song and the episode Not What He Seems. Also, at the end of the theme song, a Bill Cipher page is seen. On that page, there are numerous codes and puzzles. For example, a set of random characters can be seen which don't make sense at first. But if you crack the code, they translate to Stan is not what he seems, which is a direct reference to the Gravity Falls episode Not What He Seems. Also, in the theme song, we can see a reference to the infamous Patterson-Gimlin film where a sighting of an alleged Bigfoot is shown. Now, what might be the reference? After a giant footstep in the ground is shown, we can see a picture of a Bigfoot flash in the same pose as the one in the Patterson-Gimlin film. In another scene in the title theme song, we can see multiple Polaroids referencing some of the oddest occurrences in the history of mankind. For example, we can see a Polaroid of a UFO, another of a Fiji mermaid, and also the tabloid character Batboy. On one of the Polaroids, the UFOs seen are a reference to the fake Eiffel Tower UFO picture. Now let's talk about one of the most intriguing conspiracy theories about Gravity Falls, Bill Cipher and the Eye of Providence. The Eye of Providence, or the all-seeing eye, is an eye symbol surrounded by rays that correspond to the Providence. Now, Bill Cipher, appearing for a split second at the end of the theme song, is a direct reference to this Eye of Providence. But why is that? Nobody knows. At the end of the theme song, we have a postcard segment, and is it a coincidence that there is a flying saucer or UFOs, the same as the Billy Meyer UFOs? Well, I'll leave that decision up to you. Also on the Bill Cipher page at the end of the title theme, we can also see the famous Konami code along with multiple other codes and references. Also at the start of the intro, we can see Mabel and Dipper arrive on a Fast Dog bus, which was changed into the Speedy Beaver bus in the released version. Anyhow, both of these are a reference to the Greyhound Line's buses. With that, the theme title is covered. Now let's move on to Season 1 of Gravity Falls, where we'll go through the Easter eggs, references, and hidden messages in chronological order. In the first episode of Gravity Falls titled Tourist Trapped, we can see a poster in the twins' new room in the attic. Doesn't it look familiar? Well, that's because it resembles Justin Bieber. In the same episode, Stan is seen wearing a mask to scare Dipper. This Gillman mask is from the 1945 film, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Also, we can see the gnomes tie down Mabel in a similar way to how Lilliputians tie down Gulliver in Gulliver's Travels. And we also see a reference to the video game series The Legend of Zelda. The way Mabel takes the grappling hook out of the box and then spins around? Yep, that's how it's done in The Legend of Zelda. Now let's move on to the second episode of the season, The Legend of Gobblewonker, where the Gobblewonker is a reference to the infamous Loch Ness Monster. Also, when Dipper asks Seuss to pretend to be Bigfoot, The pose Seuss makes is once again a reference to the Patterson-Gimlin film. And while Dipper is fantasizing about catching the Gobblewonker, he's seen wearing the same outfit as the Indiana Jones movie. When asked for the secret to his success, this was his reply.
Well, I run away from nothing.
Now let's move on to the third episode in the series, Headhunters, whose entire plot is a parody of the Twilight Zone episode The New Exhibit. In this episode, we see Officer Blub saying,
It's a 2316!
Is that familiar? Of course it is. It's taken from Monsters, Inc.
2319! We have 2319!
In the episode, we can see Stan accusing John Wilkes Booth of Wax Lincoln's death, referencing the assassination of Abraham Lincoln.
Wax Abraham Lincoln, right over. Oh no, come on. Who left the blinds open? Wax John Wilkes Booth, I'm looking in your direction.
And while giving an address, Stan calls Mabel on the stage by calling her
Mabel Angelo,
which is a direct reference to the famous artist Michelangelo. Now, you might have heard many jokes starting with, there once was a man from Nantucket. Well, here's the Gravity Falls version of that.
There once was a dude from Kentucky.
Gravity Falls, episode 4 is titled The Hand That Rocks the Mabel, after the famous saying, the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. At the start of the episode, Dipper, Mabel, and Seuss are watching Gideon's commercial on TV, and Mabel makes the famous Scooby-Doo sound.
he's a psychic.
In the same commercial, we can see Stan coming out of an outhouse. Do you see something familiar? Yep, that looks just like the outhouse from Shrek. In the same episode, outside the Gleeful residence, there is a like from TV icon which is similar to the as seen on TV icon. Also, the Club in this episode refers to the red room from the famous TV series Twin Peaks. In the episode, we see Mabel bezazzle her face. This is a direct nod to the real product, the Bedazzler. As the episode progresses, we have a scene where Gideon is saying to Dipper,
Liar! You turned her against me!
this is a direct reference to the Star Wars Revenge of the Sith.
You turned her against me!
In the episode The Inconveniencing, the Gravity Falls writers really went all out with the references, packing them tighter than a haunted mini-mart freezer. Speaking of which, the name of the haunted mini-mart, Dusk to Dawn, is an obvious nod to the 1996 Robert Rodriguez film From Dusk Till Dawn. If you're a fan of both horror movies and roadside snack stops, this one's for you. Now, within the in-universe movie, The Duchess Approves, we see a costume credit for Gowns by Peppy, a cheeky nod to the legendary Hollywood designer Adrian, who often received credit as Gowns by Adrian. He's best known for his work on The Wizard of Oz. Mabel, in a scene, runs sideways on the ground after climbing a fence. This is a clear homage to the antics of Curly Howard from The Three Stooges. Can't you just hear the... Ever notice the mints in this episode? Their packaging looks strikingly similar to Mentos. And Smile Dip? It's a sweet reference to Fun Dip, though the hallucinogenic properties might be a bit extra. If you were a fan of Lisa Frank's art growing up, you might have spotted the Smile Dip dogs resembling her iconic characters, Casey and Camus. Moving on, Wendy compliments Dipper on being mature for his age, and Dipper responds with,
Yes, I am.
sound familiar? It's a catchphrase popularized by Phineas Flynn in Phineas and Ferb.
You a little...
Young to be using titanium plating and an industrial arc welder? Yes, I am. I get that a lot.
Dipper channeling his inner Phineas? Priceless. Thompson's choice of games? Dancy Pants Revolution. It's a clear parody of Dance Dance Revolution. Speaking of snacks, Lee ends up in a cereal box parodying Fruit Loops, complete with a blue toucan reminiscent of Toucan Sam, saying,
I'm bonkers for eating you alive!
That's a dark twist on Cocoa Puffs' Sonny the Cuckoo Bird's iconic I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And finally, one of the creepiest moments in the episode, Mabel twisting her head 180 degrees while possessed by a ghost, is an unmistakable homage to The Exorcist. The scene might make you shiver, but it's also a reminder of Gravity Falls' knack for weaving pop culture into its spookiness. In the next episode, Dipper vs. Manliness, the song Disco Girl, which Dipper is puzzled about,
You listen to Icelandic pop group Baba? I love Baba.
is a humorous nod to Dancing Queen by ABBA, blending Icelandic flair with the charm of the iconic Swedish group. The jerky that Dipper snacks on in the forest features packaging with a man who strongly resembles Hulk Hogan, adding a touch of wrestling nostalgia to the episode. When Mabel says to Grunkle Stan,
"Welcome to the first day of whatever is left of your life."
it recalls Walter White's similar declaration in Breaking Bad.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
The Manitars in this episode are a nod to the mythical creatures Minotaurs. The concept of the manly Minotaurs might also be a subtle nod to Mannish Man or the Manly Minotaur from the Adventure Time episode The Enchiridion, blending mythical and modern pop culture. In the episode Double Dipper, Mabel's rendition of Don't Start Unbelieving is a playful parody of the classic Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Showcasing her knack for turning anything into a performance. The Tape Man in this episode is a nod to the portable audio cassette player Sony Walkman. Later on, we see a guy nicknamed Stretch doing Michael Jackson's legendary moonwalk, adding a fun dance-inspired moment to the episode. Dipper's party checklist includes steps referencing his knowledge of Monsterman in Steps 19 and 20, a clever nod to the popular Pokemon franchise, which many fans would instantly recognize. The title of our next episode, Irrational Treasure, is a humorous play on the movie National Treasure, setting the tone for a treasure-hunting adventure with a quirky twist.
The Emancipation Proclamation.
Hilariously spoofs the historical Emancipation Proclamation, combining history with absurd comedy. Quentin Trembley's speech,
The only thing we have to fear is gigantic, man-eating spiders!
is a funny reimagining of Franklin D. Roosevelt's famous quote from his inaugural address.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Stan's dramatic cry of
Pioneer Day!
is reminiscent of the over-the-top intros from every episode of Dan vs. adding a layer of exaggerated humor. Quentin Trembley's habit of riding his horse backward mirrors the antics of Dudley Do-Right from Rocky and Bullwinkle, connecting two delightfully absurd characters. The title of our next episode, The Time Traveler's Pig, is a playful nod to the novel The Time Traveler's Wife, mixing heartfelt storytelling with sci-fi charm. The Time Police characters Lulf and Dungren are a clever reference to Dolph Lundgren, famous for his role in Universal Soldier. Not just the name, but they also look like him. Fertilia and Grady Meck's surname is a tribute to the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium, the initials of which make MECC. Mack is also the creator of the iconic video game The Oregon Trail. While Dippy is going crazy over the time travel paradox, we see Mabel and Waddles eating the same slice of pizza from opposite ends. Ever seen a similar scene before? Yep, this show mirrors the famous spaghetti scene from Disney's Lady and the Tramp, adding an adorable touch. At the episode's conclusion, Dipper quoting,
"That'll do, pig. That'll do,"
directly references the heartfelt line from the film and novel Babe.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Gravity Falls is full of puzzles and ciphers for the audience to solve along the way. For example, at the very end of this episode, we have a cryptogram which reads, "Not H.G. Wells approved." This is a cheeky homage to The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, a cornerstone of time travel fiction. The title of the next episode, and an arcade game we see in it, Fight Fighters, pay homage to the legendary Street Fighter series, setting the tone for a nostalgia-packed story. Rumble McSkirmish's moves resemble those of Street Fighter characters Ryu and Ken, while Dr. Karate's uniform nods to M. Bison and his attacks on Guile. The arcade games are full of references to famous arcade games, such as Nort for the famous sci-fi film Tron, Hoedown Hero for Guitar Hero, and Ghost Maze for Pac-Man. We even have Frog Time, which is a reference to a very old video game Frogger, and Pizza Time referencing the game Burger Time. In the episode, when Dipper is talking about power-ups in Rumble, he mentions
turkey legs, pizza boxes, or gold rings.
Here, the pizza boxes and golden rings are a direct reference to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games and Sonic the Hedgehog series respectively. In another scene, Rumble is seen picking up things off the street to use as weapons, even swords, to which Dipper says,
This street has really dangerous litter.
This refers to the Streets of Rage. We also see a reference to the arcade game Donkey Kong, where players have to leap over barrels that a gorilla throws at them. In this episode, Rumble is throwing barrels after Robbie, who must jump over them. The bonus round with Rumble smashing a car mimics Street Fighter II in Final Fight, with his exclamation,
Oh, my car!
Referencing the latter. In the episode, we see Rumble shout,
All you can eat!
in the same way Shoryuken is pronounced in an identical uppercut move in Street Fighter. Rumble's cry of "Finish him!" while fighting Robbie mirrors the iconic phrase from Mortal Kombat, another arcade legend. Moving to the end of the episode, we see that the end credits screen is based on Super Mario Bros. 2.
It's a me, a Mabel.
And Dreamlike Antics directly parodying Super Mario Bros. 2, rounding off the gaming nostalgia. Also, we see Seuss as a large head eating the characters. Where have we seen this before? Yes, that's a reference to Pac-Man. The cryptogram at the end of the scene translates to, Sorry Dipper, but your Wendy is in another castle. This is a reference to Super Mario Bros. In which Toad says, Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle. The next episode is titled Little Dipper, and as always, there's a story behind it. The episode's title takes its name from Ursa Minor, the constellation better known as the Little Dipper. When Mabel tries to reveal the wizard, she yells,
Expecto Wizarium!
If you're thinking, hey, that sounds like Expecto Patronum from Harry Potter, you're spot on. Wizards unite. Those gummy koalas? Total spoof of gummy bears. Honestly, who wouldn't want a marsupial-shaped candy? In the next episode titled Summerween, Mr. Adequate Bar is a candy bar pun at its finest, clearly inspired by Mr. Goodbar. Meanwhile, Count Discount brings the sugary cereal vibes of Count Chocula. Sweet Tooth, anyone? Waddles in a suit and tie might look adorable, but it could also be a nod to Animal Farm, where pigs kind of elevate themselves into human-like roles. Waddles the politician? I'm all for it. In another scene while trick-or-treating, the boys tell Stan they aren't scared. Stan's foreboding reply,
You will be. You will be.
echoes Yoda's ominous warning from The Empire Strikes Back.
You will be. You will be.
Talk about setting the mood. Then there are Stan's little waddles popping out of his stomach gag, which is a hilarious take on the alien chest burster scene. Seuss doubles down on the reference when he bursts out of the Summerween Trickster. Creepy yet funny. The Summerween Trickster's second form gives off serious no-face vibes from Spirited Away. Coincidence? Not a chance. Remember Stan's shower scene?
What's that?
The music playing in the background is the murder theme from Psycho. If you caught that, you deserve a true horror fan badge. The Waddles meme pictures are a loving parody of the internet's obsession with I can has cheeseburger captions. One caption even says, I hate Mondays, perfectly channeling Garfield's infamous hatred for Mondays. And let's not forget the photo that mirrors the cover art of Pink Floyd's Adam Hart Mother. Our next episode, Boss Mabel, starts off with,
Ladies and gentlemen, we now return to Cash Wheel.
Cash Wheel? Clearly a playful jab at Wheel of Fortune. Spin the wheel, but with more chaos. The singing salmon is a hilarious nod to Big Mouth Billy Bass, the talking fish that invaded every gift shop in the early 2000s. And the cryptogram in the end credits? When decoded, it reads, Heavy is the head that wears the fez. That's Gravity Falls' version of Shakespeare's famous line from Henry IV, Part 2. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Who knew Stan was so Shakespearean? In the episode Bottomless Pit,
How you diddly doing, Zeus?
Dippers is an unmistakable reference to Ned Flanders' signature greeting from The Simpsons.
I sure like the cut of your gibberish.
Cohen doodly
Diddly
diddly.
oodly,
Diddly
oodly,
Diddly
oodly,
Noodly doodly
diddly
diddly
oodly.
doodly.
Stan's tall tale
Grunkle Stan wins the football bowl.
is his spin on the Super Bowl with uniforms that look a lot like the Green Bay Packers. Moving on to the next episode, The Deep End, when Mabel bobs her head in and out of the water. The music gives a playful nod to the iconic Jaws theme. The title of our next Gravity Falls episode, Carpe Diem, is a clever play on the Latin phrase carpe diem, meaning seize the day. Nothing like a magical carpet to help you seize someone else's body. The boy band movie Boys World is a hilarious parody of the Spice Girls movie Spice World. Swap out girl power for boy band fever. When Seuss squeezes into his break room,
Like a video game puzzle block.
it's a direct nod to Tetris. You can practically hear the theme music as he wiggles into place. Dipper's book, The Sibling Brothers by Jenkins W. Jenkins, hilariously mimics the Hardy Boys series. In the episode Boys Crazy, the boy band's music video set for Cray Cray is a total homage to NSYNC's iconic Bye 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 video. When Mabel tells several times to
Get out of here before I change my mind.
it's a wink at the Gary Puckett and the Union Gap song Young Girl. Deep cut, but we love it. The title for the next Gravity Falls episode, Land Before Swine, is a pun on The Land Before Time, the classic animated dinosaur film. Swine and dinos, what's not to love? When the pterodactyl snatches Waddles, it mirrors the Super Metroid scene where Ridley steals the baby Metroid. Waddles is clearly the star of every crossover. Mabel's Pig Dance Party features moves straight out of the famous Breakfast Club dance scene. Somebody get this girl a fist pump freeze frame. The mosquito in Sap is a clever nod to Jurassic Park, where preserved mosquitoes hold the key to cloning dinosaurs. Gravity Falls might be the next big thing. Stan's joke about opening a dinosaur theme park called
Jurassic Sap Hole
is another playful reference to Jurassic Park. Can we book tickets now? Bobby Renzabi, the over-the-top pitchman, is a parody of the late Billy Mays, the infomercial king. In the episode, while Stan is mounted on the dinosaur, Stan's dramatic line,
"From Hex hard I stab at thee!"
is a fun twist on Ahab's famous quote from Moby Dick.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Clearly, Stan knows his literary references. The gang escaping via a geyser is a nod to Journey to the Center of the Earth. Nothing like a natural jet stream to make a quick getaway. Moving on to the next episode, Dreamscaperers. The board game Conflict Boat hilariously parodies Battleship.
He put the old in Old West.
They called him
Grandpa the Kid.
Here, Grandpa the Kid is a clever play on the legendary outlaw Billy the Kid. The infamous Bill Cipher makes an appearance and declares he knows
Lots of things.
The rapid-fire images on his body include iconic events and mysteries like John F. Kennedy's assassination, Stonehenge, and UFO sightings. Conspiracy theorists rejoice. We see Dipper reading an incantation to transport the gang into Stan's mind. This broken Latin phrase,
Infectus Nolinus overratus,
translates to Nolan's Inception is overrated. A cheeky jab at the mind-bending film Inception. Zyler and Kraz's dance mimics Jonathan Knight and Joey McIntyre's moves from the New Kids on the Block cartoon. Those 90s vibes are undeniable. Seuss,
Love stomach beam stare!
Attack on Bill is a parody of the Care Bears iconic
Care Bears, stare!
If only Seuss had a heart-shaped belly. The end credits pay homage to the haunting opening of Twin Peaks, with the theme slowed down to an eerie, dreamlike tempo to match the theme of Twin Peaks. In the last episode of the first season of Gravity Falls titled Gideon Rises, the Precious Moments statues in Abuelita's house are adorably accurate. Who didn't have one of these on a shelf somewhere? While Gideon is presenting his
Gideon Land!
The logo and the theme is clear parody of Disneyland. Robbie's iconic boombox scene
Take me back, Wendy! My arms are too skinny to keep holding this boombox forever!
is straight out of Say Anything, complete with romantic desperation, but Wendy isn't impressed at all. If you're enjoying this deep dive so far, then don't let Bill Cipher erase your memory. Hit that like button to keep the knowledge alive. And if you're ready for even more cryptic codes, crazy theories, and mind-blowing secrets, subscribe to Flix for more. Okay, now let's move on to the world of Gravity Falls shorts. There are different series among the shorts, such as Dipper's Guide, Mabel's Guide, and Fixin' It with Seuss. So let's start with some Dipper's Guide shorts. The Gravity Falls short Candy Monster opens up to Dipper.
Well, that concludes Gravity Falls anomaly number 13, the Mobius chicken strip.
This Mobius chicken strip is a direct reference to the Mobius strip. In another short titled Stan's Tattoo, while Dipper's trying to uncover the secret behind Stan's tattoo, we see multiple secret society symbols on the board. One of the symbols is an Ouroboros, an ancient symbol depicting a dragon eating its own tail. The symbol in an infinity lemniscate is a nod to the mystical creature of Earth. In another short titled Lefty, one of the theories Mabel gives includes this one.
Theory 2, half man, half lizard man.
This theory is once again based on the reptilian conspiracies. In the short Mailbox, we see a reference to the apocalyptic theories based on the Mayan calendar, where the world ends in 2012. Here's the Gravity Falls version.
When is the end of the world? 3012. Huh, we got a while.
In another Gravity Falls short, Tooth, we see Mabel's childhood puppet, Barrow. This addition to Gravity Falls is based on Billy Bob Broccoli of the band The Rock-a-Fire Explosion. The creature that appears in the short Hide Behind is based on the Hide Behind creature from the American folklore Fearsome Critters. In the Mabel's Guide series of Gravity Falls shorts, we have an episode, Mabel's Guide to Fashion, where one of the Aztecs' rituals is the ritual of forming a circle around a wolf or a wild dog and chanting sacred words which gave the dog the ability to speak English and play basketball. This is a crystal clear reference to the famous 1997 movie Air Bud, where a talking dog is seen playing basketball. In another short of the same series, titled Mabel's Guide to Fashion, Mabel gives Seuss a makeover. Can you guess who the new Seuss is? Yep, it's Jareth, the Goblin King. He's the main antagonist of the movie Labyrinth. Now let's move on to Mabel's Guide to Color. In this short, the sweater Mabel's wearing is very familiar. Maybe it's because it has the album cover of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. In the same episode, we see a reference to Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings. This is how Gravity Falls nodded to the movie.
The world was black and white until color was invented by a magic wizard named Crandolph the Fabulous.
Now let's move on to Mabel's Guide to Art, where Mabel's sweater has Amelia Awesomeheart printed on it, which is a direct reference to Amelia Earhart, the American aviation pioneer. Oh, so that's Mabel channeling her inner Amelia while flight testing. Just awesome. Another series of shorts in Gravity Falls is Fixin' It with Seuss. In the episode Cuckoo Clock, we see Seuss rendering a video on his computer. But is there something peculiar here? Yes, there is. The mouse pointer is identical to Apple's spinning pinwheel. In another short, Mabel's Scrapbook Heist Movie, when the gang goes to the movies, one of the films playing in the theater is Toy Storage 2, which may seem familiar. Well, that's because it's a nod to the film Toy Story 2. Similarly, in the Gravity Falls short Mabel's Scrapbook Petting Zoo, there's a picture of Mabel where she's surrounded by dog sled dogs. This arrangement in the picture is identical to the Disney movie Snow Dogs poster. Okay, now that we've covered Season 1 and the shorts by Gravity Falls, let's move on to Season 2. Let me warn you first, this season is packed with Easter eggs and allusions, so watch the video carefully. In the first episode of the second season titled Scarioke, 2 songs from Mabel's karaoke machine, We Built This Township on Rock and Roll, and Danger Lane to Highway Town, are references to We Built This City by Starship and Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins. In another scene, the song The Rapper's Rap by MC Rapper can be spotted on Mabel's karaoke machine. MC Rapper is a clear parody of the iconic rapper MC Hammer, and the song The Rapper's Rap clearly alludes to Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. Agent Power's dry claim of having no sense of humor, or how he says,
I was born with a rare disorder that makes me physically incapable of experiencing humor,
is a wink at Men in Black, where Agent K makes a similar deadpan statement.
We at the FBI do not have a sense of humor we're aware of.
Stan's Contraband Box is a treasure trove of 90s nostalgia, featuring a Tamagotchi, a wooden slingshot, a Street Sharks action figure, and many other items. These items are a charming nod to childhood fads and collectibles that many fans might remember fondly. The magazines in Stan's trunk, including the absurdly titled Fully Clothed Women, poke fun at adult magazines like Playboy. Dirty old Stan. Finally, when Seuss is walking past the TV, he says,
Oh, Gossiping Housewives is on.
This is a clear parody of the hit TV series Desperate Housewives. Moving on to the next episode, Into the Bunker, where a cryptogram on one of the pages of Journal 3 decodes to Ice Ice Baby. This is a nod to Vanilla Ice's iconic 1990 hip-hop song. Smez, the candy that appears in the episode, is a classic, humorous spoof of Pez dispensers. By tweaking a classic treat, the show adds its signature twist to a childhood favorite. When the shapeshifter first reveals itself, its monstrous form, a spider-like creature with a worm-like neck and a man's snarling head, is a direct homage to The Thing. This 1982 sci-fi horror film featured similar transformations, making the reference chilling and spot on. The design of the bunker and its entrance draws inspiration from the video game Myst. Fans of the game will recognize the eerie puzzle-like aesthetic, adding an extra layer of mystery to the episode. Moving on to the next episode, The Gulf War, is a clever play on words referencing the Gulf War of the early 1990s. One of the obstacles at Ye Royal Discount Putt Hut is a large shoe house. It's a reference to the nursery rhyme, The Old Woman Who Lived in a Shoe. The Lilliputians, the tiny inhabitants of the course, are a clear reference to the Lilliputians from Gulliver's Travels. Their method of tying up Pacifica mirrors how the Lilliputians restrained Gulliver, blending satire with playful parody. When the pirate-themed Lilliputians appear, the background music echoes the theme from Pirates of the Caribbean. This subtle musical cue enhances the episode's swashbuckling energy. The scene when Big Henry sacrifices himself to push the ball to the mine's end mirrors the tale of John Henry, a folk hero who died while building a railroad. Big Henry's story also draws from the song Big Bad John by Jimmy Dean, about a heroic miner. This dual reference reinforces the episode's theme of sacrifice and bravery, adding a layer of nostalgia for older viewers. The next episode, Sock Opera, draws inspiration from the old German story of Faust. In the tale, Faust makes a deal with Mephistopheles, aka the Devil, trading his soul for unlimited knowledge, but he eventually outsmarts the devil with the help of a maiden. Sound familiar? In Sock Opera, Dipper strikes a deal with Bill Cipher, offering up a puppet in exchange for a clue about the laptop. By the end of the story, Dipper and Mabel team up to outsmart Bill. The screaming head conjured by Bill is based on the character Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones.
You deserve a prize! Here, have a head that's always screaming!
Candy's outfit during the puppet show is a tribute to David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust look. This glam rock homage perfectly matches the quirky theatrical energy of the episode. Dipper's aggravated expression as a puppet resembles a famous meme from Kermit the Frog from Sesame Street. You see the resemblance? The preacher outfit that Bill wears during the show is based on the character Harry Powell from The Night of the Hunter. The song Ave Maria by Franz Schubert can be heard when Stan's puppet falls in slow motion. During the end credits, the Stan and the Old Man Gucket balcony puppets resemble Statler and Waldorf from The Muppet Show. The title of the next episode, Seuss and the Real Girl, is a spoof of the film Lars and the Real Girl. Just as the film explores unconventional relationships, the episode humorously delves into Seuss's struggles with romance. Multiple stores at Gravity Malls are knockoff versions of real-life stores. For example, the game store, Beebly Boop's Video Games, parodies GameStop with its clever logo design. The store Edgy on Purpose is a spoof on Spencer's. And the store Build-A-Beaver is a parody of Build-A-Bear Workshop. Seuss's room is a treasure trove of nostalgic references, featuring a Stretch Armstrong doll, a Furby, and a Godzilla action figure. These items highlight Seuss's childlike personality and love for classic toys. Also, a poster parodying the Nintendo GameCube can be spotted on the door of Seuss' room. It looks like the character on the poster is a mix of a Rubik's Cube and a cool spot, blending multiple eras of gaming culture. The cardboard cutout Seuss knocks over mimics Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. This playful nod to gaming's iconic heroine fits perfectly into Seuss's hilariously awkward journey through life. The name of the animatronic badger, Will E. Badger, is a spoof of Chuck E. Cheese. The restaurant Hoo Ha Owl's Pizzamatronic Jamboree is based off Showbiz Pizza Place and the Rockafire Explosion. To be honest, they all look kinda creepy. The sticky note warning Seuss to destroy at all costs, his copy of Romance Academy 7, references the infamous Sonic.exe creepypasta, where the narrator is repeatedly warned to destroy the haunted disc containing the titular game. The fact that Giffany killed her creators after becoming sentient is a nod to GLaDOS from the Portal series. Giffany's animation depicting a bunch of stick figures at computers greatly resembles similar animations played in Portal 2. The binary code on Giffany's screen translates to Space Jam 2, referencing the film Space Jam: A New Legacy. Crazy how secret messages are hidden in these small details. Seuss isn't really sure how to pronounce his digital girlfriend's name, echoing the real-world arguments about whether GIF is pronounced with a hard or soft G. Finally, the red codes from the cryptogram at the end of the episode can be decoded to lyrics of the Sailor Moon theme song. The title of the next Gravity Falls episode, Little Gift Shop of Horrors, is a playful parody of the cult classic Little Shop of Horrors. This sets the stage for the anthology of quirky and creepy tales. In Stan's gift shop, a Palantir from The Lord of the Rings makes a cameo, complete with the Eye of Sauron. This geeky reference adds a magical, ominous vibe to the shop's inventory.
The
Hands up!
Title card channels the iconic style of graphic designer Saul Bass. The name of McGucket's booth at the Gravity Falls swap meet, Who's Its and What's Its, cleverly references the song Part of Your World from Disney's The Little Mermaid, especially the line,
I've got Who's Its and What's Its galore.
The name reflects McGucket's quirky knack for collecting oddities. The Hand Witch's robe is almost identical to the robe of the Master from the movie Manos, The Hands of Fate, and her throne, made of hands, mimics the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones. This detail humorously emphasizes her eerie connection to her hand-themed magic. Dipper, hanging Michelangelo's famous painting, The Creation of Adam, highlights his attempt at a classy touch amidst the chaos. The What the Heckahedron is a clear nod to the Rubik's Cube and other 3D puzzles. Its absurd name perfectly matches the show's quirky tone.
You're no match for Emplothocles. I've come for the golden pants.
Is a reference to the myth of the Golden Fleece. And Harry Claymore's old gorilla model can be spotted, which references Mighty Joe Young, an iconic stop-motion character. Harry Claymore himself honors Ray Harryhausen, a legendary stop-motion animator. The claymation monsters in the episode, from skeletons to Cyclops, are a direct tribute to Harryhausen's iconic films. When Seuss transforms into clay, he resembles Gumby, complete with the catchphrase,
Holy Toledo!
Moving on to the next episode, Society of the Blind Eye, we find out something new about Old Man McGucket. His actual name is Fiddleford Hadron McGucket. McGucket's middle name is a clever nod to the Large Hadron Collider, the world's largest and highest energy particle accelerator. The statue inside the Hall of the Forgotten looks strikingly similar to the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro. When Mabel and Wendy discuss Mabel's failed romances, the Pythagoras theorem and a Triforce are visible on the wall. Talking about failed romances, the poster of Gabe reads, Master of Puppets, he'll pull your heartstrings. This is a reference to the song Master of Puppets by Metallica, which contains the lyrics, and last but definitely not least, the ending credits. Stan's coffee mug, notepad, and pen are sucked into the universe portal. These same items appear in Rick and Morty's episode, Close Rick Counters of the Rick Kind, hinting at a multiversal connection between the two shows. The next episode's title, Blendin's Game, is a direct reference to the book Ender's Game and its film adaptation. This sets the tone for a high-stakes sci-fi adventure. When Dipper and Mabel enter the Globnar Arena, a man can be seen falling infinitely through two portals. This is a reference to an internet meme from the Portal video game, in which the player can use a portal gun to place two portals directly above and below each other, and jump into them, falling infinitely until one portal is moved. This shows how crazy this episode is going to be. In the year 207,012, there are signs reading, Time Baby is watching. These signs parody George Orwell's book named 1984, where Big Brother is watching, serves as a symbol of oppressive surveillance. The time agents Lulf and Dungren once again appear in this episode and are based on the actor Dolph Lundgren, and their uniforms are kind of similar to the outfit worn by Lundgren's character Andrew Scott, aka GR13, in the film Universal Soldier. Also in the episode, a poster of Michael Jackson's 1988 film Moonwalker is visible in Seuss's childhood room, placed behind a partially unpacked electronic keyboard gift. The Globnar trials that Mabel and Dipper are subjected to in this episode include games inspired by American Gladiators, Tron, and many other games. When Dipper and Mabel visit Seuss's childhood home, a red balloon is visible in the window. This could be a subtle nod to the balloon of the horror clown It. Or do you think this is a bit too far-fetched? Moving on to the next episode. The episode's name, The Love God, is a playful nod to one of Don Knotts' classic films of the same title. In the episode, we see Mabel in front of the Valentino funeral home, and as she rings the doorbell plays one of Bach's popular songs, Toccata and Fugue in D minor. This dramatic piece adds a gothic, spooky flair to the setting. The episode features a Woodstick Festival, which is a parody of the Woodstock Festival. In the episode, we see Mabel saying,
"Oh, guy from the $10 bill! I forgot I had a crush on you!"
The guy refers to Alexander Hamilton, later immortalized in the hit Broadway musical Hamilton. In the next episode of Gravity Falls, titled Northwest Mansion Mystery, Preston ringing the bell references the experiments Russian psychologist Ivan Pavlov did. The ghost harasser's uniform in
An entire 48-hour marathon of ghost harassers
mimics those of the Ghostbusters. Even Dipper's spell,
Ain't afraid us no ghostas,
parodies the iconic theme song. The Used to Be About History channel is a parody of the History Channel. When Dipper mentions the scale of ghosts' malevolence, he opens to a page with a childlike ghost designed very similar to Casper the Friendly Ghost. And on another page, a ghost resembling Freddy Krueger from A Nightmare on Elm Street can be seen. Candy describes Marius as,
"He's a white whale. Hunting him will destroy us."
referencing Moby Dick, where Ahab's obsession leads to his downfall. The ghostly lumberjack nearly grabbing Pacifica behind a curtain echoes a similar scene from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Moving on to the episode Not What He Seems, where we can see a reality TV show,
Kerbrang!
which is a playful parody of MTV's Punk'd, famous for its celebrity pranks. Even the host is based on the original host of Punk'd, Ashton Kutcher. We also learn another of Stan's many secrets, his aliases and fake IDs. Stan's alias,
Alcatraz,
cleverly references the notorious island prison. During a climactic countdown scene, Seuss exclaims,
It's the final countdown, just like they always sung about!
referring to Europe's famous 1986 anthem,
It's the final countdown!
Okay, so moving on to A Tale of Two Stans, where Gravity Falls does what it does best, mix drama, Easter eggs, and laugh-out-loud moments. The title itself? A cheeky nod to Charles Dickens' famous novel, A Tale of Two Cities. But let's be real, Stan and Ford's intertwined destinies are way more fun than the French Revolution. Oh, and that Mothgar poster in their childhood room? A hilarious parody of the Mothra movie poster. Stan's
Sham total!
is yet another classic parody from the show, this time taking a swing at the infamous ShamWow. Let's be honest, Sham Total sounds just as unreliable as it looks, and that's probably the point. Ford's dorm room screams Brainiac in residence, with posters of scientific legends Nikola Tesla and Carl Sagan. Subtle? No. Awesome? Yes. If you think these posters are overkill, let us know in the comments. But don't forget, Ford's the guy who made interdimensional travel look like a weekend hobby. Meanwhile, McGucket's house is a not-so-subtle nod to Steve Jobs' family home, tying McGucket's tech genius to the Apple legend. Inside, there's a bitten-off strawberry poster with the slogan, Ponder Alternatively, and a red circle over the poster which is a parody of Apple's slogan, Think Different. Apparently, McGucket might have been the OG Steve Jobs. Mabel's drawing that says, What hath science wrought? A cheeky biblical throwback to What hath God wrought? A famous quote from the Book of Numbers. Now with a scientific twist. You know, classic Mabel. Oh, and Ford's room also features the Great Diamond Authority symbol from Steven Universe. Coincidence? Probably not. Crossover dreams? Definitely. The title of the next episode and central game parody the legendary tabletop role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. Like its inspiration, Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons prominently features polyhedron dice. These unique dice are a staple of the tabletop gaming experience, lending authenticity to the parody. The 38-sided die featured in the episode is an exaggerated take on the D20 dice used in Dungeons & Dragons. Cheese Boodles, a favorite snack in the episode, is a parody of Cheese Doodles. The episode's FCLORP, or as we hear Seuss say,
foam and cardboard legitimate outdoor role-playing,
is a whimsical take on LARP, or live-action role-playing. The title font of Diggity Dungeons and All That resembles the logo of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This clever design detail highlights the show's ability to weave pop culture references into its visuals. Because if you're going to do D&D, you might as well do it in a 90s sitcom style. And during Diggity Dungeons and All That, one of the kids does a dance kinda similar to MC Hammer in his song, You Can't Touch This. When Stan swats a fairy on his back, it exclaims,
"Hey, look, listen!"
This line is a direct reference to Navi, the fairy from The Legend of Zelda.
Hey, look, listen, hello.
When Stan presents his taxidermy creation,
Quack, quack, I'm the duck detective. Who stole my bread loaf?
The iconic violin riff from Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho can be heard. This chilling sound effect adds a comedic edge to the scene. We also see Stan defending Duck Detective by saying,
I'll have you know that Duck Detective has a big mystery element and a lot of humor that goes over kids' heads.
Is a meta commentary on Gravity Falls itself. Additionally, when the Pines family, Seuss and Grenda, are disappointed with the Duck Detective season finale's plot twist, Seuss mentions predicting it a year ago.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. Wah.
You had a twin brother all along? That's the big twist we were waiting for?
What a ripoff! I predicted that like a year ago.
This is an obvious reference to how fans of Gravity Falls predicted Ford's reveal, which was confirmed 2 episodes previously, in Not What He Seems. The fantasy names posted up on the boards in the living room by Dipper and Ford are all parodies of names from The Flight of Dragons, Gorbash, Smeargle, and Amhadon. The hot elf character in the episode is a reference to the character Legolas from Lord of the Rings movies. The ogre guarding the path to Probabilitor challenges the group to 7 labors, a direct allusion to the myth of Hercules.
Ye must complete 7 unworldly quests.
This mythological reference enhances the episode's adventurous tone. Mabel eats a snack similar to Pringles while watching Duck Detective's finale. Because what is better than a good TV show along with some Pringles? If you're loving this deep dive into Gravity Falls, don't let Stan Pines lock up the secrets. Hit that like button to keep the mystery alive. And if you want to crack even more codes and uncover hidden clues, subscribe to Cipher Flix for the ultimate decode experience. Now let's get back to the adventure. Let's continue. Like always, the title of our next episode, The Stancherian Candidate, is a reference to the 1959 Richard Condon novel, The Manchurian Candidate, which was adapted into a 1962 and a 2004 film. In the episode, when Bud Gleeful gives his speech at the town hall, he offers everyone a 50% discount on a used car.
In fact, everyone, look under your seats. You get half off a used car. You get half off a used car.
This is a direct reference to Oprah Winfrey's famous car giveaway on September 13th, 2004 episode of The Oprah Winfrey Show, where she exclaimed, "Forget change in the government. Let's give away cars." Stan's campaign slogan in the episode,
Yes, we stand!
parodies Barack Obama's 2008 campaign slogan, Yes, we can. Stan may be running for president, but that doesn't mean he can't dream big. Stan's One Does Not Simply meme references a popular internet meme originating from the Lord of the Rings movies. The quote is based on Boromir's line,
One does not simply walk into Mordor,
which became a widely shared phrase. During the final debate, Seuss says,
But I can promise you a kitten in every pot.
Is a playful twist on Herbert Hoover's 1928 presidential campaign slogan, a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage. The monitor worn by Bud Gleeful while under Gideon's possession is a nod to Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This visual cue plays on Krang's mechanical suit from the series. The poster in Gideon's cell, depicting a cat hanging onto a branch with the message, "Hold on to that branch or die, cat," is a reference to the famous Hang In There poster, which gained popularity in the 1970s as a motivational image. We've all been there, hanging on by a thread or a branch in tough times. The title of our next episode, The Last Mabelcorn, and its unicorns reference the 1982 animated film The Last Unicorn. The condescending attitudes of the unicorns are a humorous nod to Lady Amalthea's ungrateful demeanor in the film. Turns out, even unicorns have sass. So my question is,
What are you gonna do about it? Huh? What are you gonna do?
Dipper is seen reading The Sibling Bros, a clever spoof of the Hardy Boys series. Because when solving mysteries runs in the family, who needs Hardy Boys? The closet full of board games features spoofs of real-life classics, giving viewers a laugh and a nostalgic flashback. For example, Battle Chutes and Ladder Ships, a mashup of Chutes and Ladders and Battleships. Imagine falling down ladders and sinking ships. It's chaos at sea. Another game seen in the closet, Necronomiconpoly, is a blend of Monopoly and the Necronomicon. And Shh, Don't Wake Stalin is a hilarious parody of Don't Wake Daddy because waking Stalin could really ruin your day. Connect 44 is just Gravity Falls taking Connect 4 to extreme levels. Prepare for hours of strategic gameplay. The game Imperfection is a twist on perfection, the same ticking clock, more existential dread. Satiated Hippos, turns out the hungry hippos can finally chill. And finally,
What could go wrong in the board game?
is a clear nod to Jumanji, where bad decisions come to life. In the episode when Ford calls for a family meeting, Mabel's quip about being sent to wizard school, complete with an owl in Ford's bag, is a playful reference to Harry Potter.
Are you going to tell us we're finally of age to go to wizard school? Is there an owl in this bag?
Who wouldn't want a Hogwarts acceptance letter, complete with a magic owl delivery? In the episode, we see Dipper going through the Cipher file, which contains references to various pop culture gems, such as where the file says, "Warthogs and meerkat is made tender by their carefree lives and trouble-free philosophies." A cheeky nod to Timon and Pumbaa's Hakuna Matata lifestyle from The Lion King. And setting for conspiracy movies, like that one where the guy has to steal the Declaration of Independence, which is a clear nod to the American action-adventure heist film National Treasure. Grenda's line,
"Join the dark side!"
is a clear reference to Darth Vader's infamous recruitment pitch in Star Wars. She's just one lightsaber short of galactic domination. Mabel's montage includes a shot with her friends in a shopping cart, mirroring the chaotic cover art from the DVD cover of the movie Food Fight. In the next Gravity Falls episode, Roadside Attraction, we see a cool ripoff of Gmail, when Emma Sue's email, coolgirl@gmail.com, is a parody of Gmail, because even in Gravity Falls, being cool is essential. The rest area scene in the episode visually references the motel scene from the movie titled A Goofy Movie. From the layout to the hot tub conversation, it's a nostalgic nod to Max and Goofy's road trip chaos. A Paul Bunyan statue welcomes visitors to Mystery Mountain, bringing a lumberjack-sized dose of Americana to the show. The flame retardant raccoon is a humorous spin on Smokey Bear, reminding us that only we can prevent forest fires, or however he says it.
Flame retardant raccoon says, "Don't hug forest fires."
Okay, so let's now move to the next episode, Dipper and Mabel versus the Future, where Audi's iconic logo appears on Ford's chalkboard. Turns out, alien physics and luxury car logos go hand in hand. Mabel's remark that
TV taught me that high school is like some sort of musical.
references Disney's High School Musical. Like always, we have a Visionaire Cipher in this episode as well. Only this time, the key Blue Book references Project Blue Book, the Air Force's UFO investigation program. A cryptogram in the episode, while Dipper and Ford are inside the underground UFO, when translated reads, "Betty and Barney were here," which is a nod to Betty and Barney Hill, the famous alien abductees. Proof that close encounters leave lasting impressions, on graffiti at least. Dipper and Ford walk by a chair with an alien skeleton that resembles the space jockey from Alien. Even extraterrestrial furniture gets callbacks. Does this clip ring any bells?
Clara, did you eat my farm?
This scene is a nod to the famous poem Old MacDonald Had a Farm. The cryptogram Dipper takes a selfie with is loaded with references. For example, Probability Drive Engine calls out the infinite improbability drive from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And another cryptogram, when decoded, translates to Blurg, Bloth, and Beyond, which is a parody of the franchise Bed Bath & Beyond. Who knew even aliens need good deals on home goods? The next episode, Weirdmageddon, is an extension of the previous episode, where Ford explains the mystical event Weirdmageddon. In this episode, when Ford says,
"So this is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a boop boop."
This is a reference to the famous T.S. Eliot's poem, The Hollow Men's Last Line. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but with a whimper. Now, who remembers the line, "The one whose name must never be said"? Yes, it is a line often said in reference to Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. Here's the Gravity Falls version of this.
The being whose name must never be said!
In the episode, when Dipper tries to punch Bill, he's sent flying back. This is a parody of the famous Pokemon anime film where Ash meets a similar fate. Similarly, when Bill says,
"Hench maniacs, roll out!"
and when Gideon says,
"Discount Automar Warriors, roll out!"
which are both references to the line "Autobots roll out" of Optimus Prime from the Transformers series. In the same episode, Gideon's henchmen can be seen wearing sunglasses from the Homestuck series. Also, a major portion of the episode is spent on the car chase scene, which is a parody of the Mad Max franchise. One of Gideon's henchmen also resembles Max Rockstansky from Mad Max. In the car chase scene, Dipper and Wendy go through multiple weirdness bubbles, and in one of the bubbles they are drawn anime style, while in the back of the car we see Speed Racer characters Sprittle and Chim Chim. The plot of this scene is also similar to the Amazing World of Gumball episode The Job. Now let's move on to the next episode, Weirdmageddon 2, Escape from Reality, where Seuss describes the Mabel Land.
What is this new world? Shining, shimmering, splendid!
This is a reference to the song A Whole New World from Aladdin. Mabel's nap time in her tower is a classic Disney homage, mimicking Sleeping Beauty. From her dreamy bed to holding a rose, all that's missing is Prince Charming, or maybe just Seuss saying,
"Off you go, little lady."
Enter Dippy Fresh.
Yeah! Wiggity wiggity, what's up, dude bros? I'm Dippy Fresh. I like skateboarding, supporting my sister, and punctuating every sentence with a high five. Huh!
This is the most cringe-worthy addition to Mabel's world. His look is straight out of the Burger King Kids Club, specifically Kid Vid. During the credits, Zyler and Kraz, being the deep thinkers they are, casually drop references to Jean-Paul Sartre's existential philosophy.
Jean-Paul Sartre postulated that every existing thing is born without reason, prolongs itself out of weakness, and dies by chance. Totally righteous, bro.
I know!
Nothing says escape from reality like pondering the meaning of existence with neon 80s dudes. Okay, so let's now move on to the last episode of the series, Weirdmageddon 3, Take Back the Falls, where Mabel points out Pacifica's potato sack outfit. It's a subtle nod to the Paper Bag Princess, a fairy tale where fashion and functionality collide. Very on brand for Pacifica's redemption arc. Rumble's heroic farewell near the end of the episode, complete with a thumbs up as he fades away, is ripped straight from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. If only he'd muttered, "Hasta la vista, baby." Inside the Pyramid's penthouse suite, we spot a familiar grandfather clock, eerily similar to the one from the endless hallway in Disney Park's The Haunted Mansion. Even the Pyramid respects spooky Disney aesthetics. Bill Cipher gets musical, belting out,
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when. Oh, I know we'll meet again.
a song famously used in Dr. Strangelove because nothing sets the mood for interdimensional chaos like a classic wartime tune. Meanwhile, Gideon's dance Cage Bop is accompanied by Scott Joplin's The Entertainer. Does Gideon deserve this after all of his evil plotting?
Bill captured me. He's been forcing me to do cute dances in his cage for all eternity. I'm so tired of being cute.
When Bill mentions,
"Hey, Achilles! Nice work with the heel!"
it's a literal throwback to Greek mythology, where even immortals could dodge a well-placed arrow. Lesson learned, don't skip heel day. Bill's origin story about
flat minds in a flat world with flat dreams
references Edwin A. Abbott's novella with the title Flatland. Turns out, two-dimensional life isn't just boring, it breeds chaos gods. In the episode, we see Mrs. Valentino's zombie-busting sawed-off shotgun request.
Robbie, would you be a dear and give us the sawed-off shotgun?
This is a cheeky nod to the famous game Evil Dead. Seuss's party antics include showcasing a mermaid, which is suspiciously a monkey sewn to a fish. Yep, it's the Fiji mermaid hoax, a classic prank from the discerning weirdo. Towards the end of the episode, Dipper's ominous,
"Ready to head into the unknown?"
Nope. Let's do it.
feels like a wink to the TV show Over the Garden Wall. Creator Patrick McHale is Alex Hirsch's buddy, so this Easter egg is pure friendship goals. Finally, the teens chanting,
"One of us, one of us."
after the twins blow out their birthday candles references the cult classic Freaks. Nothing says happy birthday like a little mob initiation energy. And Dipper's closing line?
It's not on any maps, and most people have never heard of it.
A beautiful callback to Herman Melville's Moby Dick. It is not down on any map. True places never are. Gravity Falls may be gone, but its mystery lives on. That was it for the magical crossovers and references in Gravity Falls Season 2. Now let's move on to the final section of this video, the Gravity Falls books. Journal 3 is a book compiled by Stanford Pines which consists of all the creatures and paranormal activities he encountered in Gravity Falls. There's a page within the journal with the title, What Does It Mean? This page has a lot of references hidden in it as the silhouettes of creatures from various other franchises and pop culture shows. For example, we have Pac-Man with cat ears, Gizmo from Gremlins, and a crab person from South Park. On the Summerween Trickster page, we can see a note that the Summerween Trickster can morph like Mr. Faceless, or the No-Face character from Spirited Away. In the first official Gravity Falls comic, Lost Legends, we can once again see multiple references to other media. For instance, in the Face It part of Lost Legends, we see boiling aisles on the right side of the crawlspace page. Yes, the same boiling aisles, the main setting of the Owl House. Also in the Fact It segment of the comic, we see the Scream, which is one of the faces on Mr. What's-His-Face's wall. Also, there's a face similar to the Happy Mask salesman from The Legend of Zelda. The question is, how did these two get here? Also, in Crawlspace, the underground paranormal black market, we see Slender Man as one of the monsters. Also, in the Comics Up part of the Lost Legends comic, we see Blarchy, which is a parodic take on Archie when Wendy's reading,
"Oh, Blarchy, who needs a personality when you have freckles?"
In the same segment, we see Sarcastipup, which, as you might have guessed, is a parody of Garfield. And the Purple Sky character in the comic is based on the black and white spies from the Spy vs. Spy comics. Now, who remembers the famous Kilroy was here meme? Well, here's the Bill version of that. In another series of the Gravity Falls Lost Legends comic titled Don't Dimension It, we see Mabel falling through multiple dimensions, where one of the dimensions is similar to a level in the Sonic the Hedgehog video game. In this segment, we see multiple versions of Mabel, each from a different dimension. These versions, as you might have realized, are based on other media and TV shows. For example, there is a Mabel based on Marty McFly from Back to the Future, and one based on Waldo from Where's Waldo? Heck, we even have one based on the famous arcade game Pac-Man. Now, who doesn't know Bob Ross? Here you go, Mabel Ross. Is that you? Well, what do you say about the Sherlock Holmes version of Mabel? Does that make Dipper the famous Dr. John Watson? Finally, let's move on to the Book of Bill, where the Owl House references are once again found hidden. For example, on the Human Anatomy page, with the Gravity Falls weirdness of course, we can see Hootie from the Owl House. On another page within the book, Hootie and the skull from the Titan can be seen on the medieval manuscript. In the Book of Bill, it is also revealed that one of the antagonists of Amphibia is currently imprisoned, but he's not alone. Bill Cipher is also with him in the Theraprism. And there you have it, folks. Every secret handshake, every coded whisper, and every blink and you miss it moment that Gravity Falls has hidden under its pine tree canopy. From cryptic symbols to nods at pop culture, Alex Hirsch made sure this show was more layered than a triple-decker stack of pancakes at Greasy's Diner. If I missed something, and let's face it, in Gravity Falls, there's always another secret. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell, because if Bill Cipher taught us anything, it's that strange things happen when you least expect them. Until next time, stay curious, stay weird, and remember that reality is an illusion.